We have another young Indian with us as part of the Voice of the Young series. Hello, everyone. Today, right now, we have with us, and I'll try to say it in the Bengali way, Amrita Bhattacharya. Bhattacharya. Okay. Sorry if I didn't get it perfect, but at least I tried. Over to you, Amrita.
Okay, so it's Amrita.
Amrita. Okay.
Amrita.
I'm learning. Amrita. Sorry. Amrita, let's get
Definitely.
started.
Definitely. So, hello.
Yeah.
I am an economics student. I'm from Kolkata in West Bengal. And I have done my bachelor's from Scottish Church College, the same college that has, been the alma mater of stalwarts like Netaji and Vivekananda.
Uh-huh.
And for my master's, I have been to Pune, Symbiosis University,
Yeah.
Symbiosis International University.
Yeah.
And this is how my brush with economics has been starting from 2018. So I never studied economics in school. I was a pure science student with a PCMB, physics, chemistry, maths, bio combination. And I jumped into economics for a few personal reasons. Like I started off with maths honors first under the University of Calcutta in some different college. And I switched to economics to, be with some friend in the same college, which was very silly at that time when I look back. So it was almost like 4 months of the 6 month semester had passed. I had almost studied real algebra. I was ready to appear for the end sems. And I just switched to college along with my whole degree and subject. So the very first day that I went to the whole department of economics, I knew nothing except that there's something called demand and supply.
Yeah.
And that's new. I mean, all of us have been to markets. We know how to, buy a good, and we know what is the basic relation with the demand and supply. That was my idea. And a friend had told that, just don't worry, you would see the very basic, like we are undergraduate students entering college, every prof would be drawing, two lines intersecting at a point. That's the basic, you would know what is happening. So my idea of economics was the theory of demand and supply. And the very first topic that my teacher at Scottish Church, she's the head of department now, Dr. Smita Nath Adhikari. She was teaching math eco, and it was all about functions and getting the maximum, the global maxima, the local maxima. And I was like, okay, so it's maths. It's fundamentally playing around with maths. So I got a boost, and I was like very proactive because anyway, I was a new student and everyone seemed to know a bit of economics, not like me, who knows nothing of eco. And that was the, very first time I encountered what economics is all about. So to me, since that day and until now, I have been drawn towards the quant part more than the theories or the macroeconomics or the microeconomics part of it. I really love the math eco, the stat eco, and the quantitative aspects, the econometrics aspects of economics. When I joined Scottish Church with this BSc honors in University of Calcutta, we have Bachelors of Science in Economics. We
Right.
also have a BA, but BSc is more preferred and it's
Yeah.
more popular. So I initially didn't know what to do with the subject. I was like, I got into a degree to be with a friend, have fun in my college life, but what next?
Yeah.
Uh, it was
By the
not
way,
un-
did you have
yeah,
fun?
I did. Honestly, my whole career path that got changed. I was an MBA aspirant that, okay, I got into econ. Now I don't know what to do with this. So, okay, fine, I'll do an MBA, I'll get a job, I'll be settled. No more of economics after, this 3 years.
Uh-huh.
And in the like second, third semester, I was so drawn with economics, and it's such a beautiful and intrinsically important subject. I mean, it's everywhere. Economics is everywhere. It's for the layman who doesn't know maybe the principles of economics, but it's like so evident and useful. So that changed my career goals. I wanted to pursue a master's. Luckily and unluckily, I come from the COVID batch. We are
Yeah.
labeled as the COVID batch,
Yeah.
and who are, supposed to maybe not know so much because we took online exams and
Yeah.
people don't know how much authentic that was, how much reliable that assessment was.
Yeah.
Even I agree as a student.
Yeah.
So our whole transition from the offline to online education and later to offline again after the like relaxations started, it was something that hindered me in my goal to pursue a MS abroad. I wanted to study quant, and in India right now, the very few places that come under providing MSQE or a Masters of Science in Quantitative Economics are very few. So there's ISI, Delhi, Kolkata.
Yeah.
There's Madras School of Economics who have an MSc in applied quantitative finance. So it's
Yeah.
not exactly economics. They go into the finance
Yeah.
aspect more.
Yeah.
And there are few diploma, 1 year or 2 year diplomas, like even Symbiosis School of Economics has. It's a 1 year course. And then there's few more universities, but that's not the point. I mean, quantitative economics as a whole is not available. You study the whole of it, or
Yeah.
you have specializations later in the
Yeah.
curriculum, in the final year. So I was looking up the net and I was like selecting the unis, and then the COVID happened. And I think I didn't want to risk my life, especially the West would be like, whenever you switch a channel, they would show how badly the West is suffering due to the pandemic.
Yeah. Yeah.
And we were already having a little tough time, switching to the online mode.
Yeah.
Online mode might be convenient that you're sitting at the comfort of your home and you don't have to go out. It saves time, but it's really not. You have internet issues. There are issues when maybe our professors are not that adept at teaching you, because it's all technology. It comes with practice, and the more you are put to that situation, the more efficient you become. So there were a lot of issues with online education, and I didn't want to step out of my country. So I started choosing unis here. And like being an Indian student, and also you might be aware that in India, though we have such a, I mean, huge number of students passing out every year from school, from colleges, the next year of education that they aspire to go doesn't have so many seats to
Yeah.
accommodate it.
Yeah.
And the quality of education, it is so disproportional. It's not really uniform. There are universities which have very high NAC grades,
Yeah.
the academic accreditation grades, but they might not be that good, and it's a tough time for an Indian student to actually go to some universities. The public universities are slowly crumbling down, and with a lot of disturbances from the political aspects and administrative aspects. And for the private universities, they charge a hefty amount of fees, which
Yeah.
is not like very inclusive for an average Indian, I would say.
Yeah.
So there were a few options. We started like taking entrances. There were admission tests. So like everyone in my friend circle and in Kolkata, like the circle I knew, everyone was appearing for the multiple entrances for the masters, which only had a very minuscule number of seats.
Yeah.
I still remember I we like a 2021 undergraduate batch, we like economic students. So we had our seats allocated for the ISI entrance near IIFT Kolkata.
Yeah.
that comes under the southeastern fringe of Kolkata. I may be wrong, but yeah, that's it. And the line, so the place that we were, designated for the exam and IIFT Kolkata, it might be like almost a kilometer. And there was like a, never ending line, queue of students, parents, everyone, you know, racing to get that ISI seat,
Yeah.
which only which can't, take in everyone. We know how competitive it is. And the same goes for most other institutes. So that happened. And finally, after a lot of, wait lists, in TIS and few other places I didn't even apply to because I didn't want to pursue there. It was difficult to get in. I finally, moved to Symbiosis School of Economics. I had also chosen University of Calcutta because even if it is not so modern in its curriculum, the theoretical approach and the faculty is still good. I
Yeah.
mean, C still comes as one of the, top 5 public universities. So I finally settled at Symbiosis, moved to Pune, and that's how my master's started. It was 2021 that our MSc started in an online mode. So we, you know, the net time that we could actually study in Pune on campus was few months, less than a year, the second year from August, and that's it. So parallel to this one, because I always had in my mind to, take up big data and analytics sometime.
Yeah.
When I started with maths, coming from maths, it's easier to go to that segment. At least in 2018, there was not this much of hype of data science and
No.
big data and
No.
analytics. It was coming up.
Yeah.
I got acquainted with this topic, once when I read up in the newspaper that Calcutta is setting up a state data hub in Newtown. It's a smart town close
Yeah.
to in Kolkata. And I was very intrigued by what big data analytics, data science was to mean.
Yeah.
And it was that time only like restricted to actually the senior people, the employees, or the people who are already in the field in that domain. It was not so far fetched. Not everyone was learning
Yeah.
what data science all about is. And there was also a hush hush about AI. AI was
Yeah.
supposed to be some magic, and they
Yeah.
didn't know what goes on behind
Yeah.
it, the maths
Yeah.
and stats they require. So I took up science, and I wanted to maths honors, and in it, I wanted to take up analytics. So there's a course jointly offered by Jadavpur University, IIT Kharagpur, and ISI. It's an executive diploma on big data and
Yeah.
analytics. So that was like a very proper and very flagship kind of course that was available back in 2018 when not other universities and institutions have started rolling out all these courses. So I wanted to pursue that sometime, but before that, I would have to, have the experience because it was for the executive level. And coming to economics, and I found that on the first day, people are drawing graphs and it's all about functions
Yeah.
and curves. I was like, okay, so there's a like point. I can still go to that direction. And luckily, somehow it's all say like it's all, fated. Maybe it happens if it has to happen. In 2000, like 1920, the whole dialogue about the new education policy rolled in. India started with the new education policy 2020, and the universities were to have a lot of changes in the way their courses and the curriculum were to be designed, the whole education scape of India. And IIT Madras was like the one of the very first players in this who adapted NEP and rolled out a course on data science and applications. It
Yeah.
started off data science and programming, and now it's become data science and applications. And it was supposed to be online, and it is supposed to be accessible to everyone, anyone who has studied class 10 maths, irrespective of their background, their age, It's open to working professionals. It's open to students. Anyone who is enthusiastic and really wants to learn what data science is all about and how can they make a career in data science. And this happened in 2021, the year
Yeah.
that we were all suffering with COVID
Yeah.
for the second time. And my mom had come across this advertisement in the newspaper, and she's like, you may apply. So they have all these career pages in newspapers. She
Yeah.
read
Yeah.
them. You should apply, and you don't have to not do anything else. As in, when you're going to a full-time college, off campus college, you have to go every day. There has to be a timetable, and you have to have that accommodation in your routine. You can't do something else at that time. So but this one was flexible. This one was to be self-paced, based on credits, and it was totally up to the learner how much they want to learn
Yeah.
and is their target. So I applied. We had a qualifier exam, which now also has a JEE intake, the Joint Entrance Examination intake. But at the first cohort, I come from the first batch, rather, we didn't have the JEE intake. We
Yeah.
had to write a qualifier that was totally IIT level. IIT Madras had designed the paper. It was a computer-based test. We had to write it in an examination center, and luckily I got in. So there started my data science journey. It's still continuing,
Yeah.
but I had like few disturbances along. I was in my final year of bachelor's, online bachelor's. I
Yes.
mean, shift to online bachelor's. So it was hectic. I mean, final years are supposed to be really exhaustive. You
Yeah.
have to keep an account of the grades. You have to study really hard, and there's so many papers,
Yeah.
such a lot of papers. And it's no more basics now. You get to the applied areas and the more specialized areas of economics, like environmental development. We also had one on research methodology in economics, which we didn't do. We did the other alternative that was offered by college. So by that time, the University of Calcutta had also adapted the choice-based credit system,
Yeah.
CBCS.
Yeah.
But again, because we don't have so many profs,
Yeah.
to be able to teach all the subjects offered,
Yeah.
we didn't get to choose exactly what we wanted to do.
Yeah.
But the courses were fun. So that happened, and I studied the whole 2021 with the 2 degrees. My
Yeah.
BSc, I was to graduate in
Yeah.
August, and my BS in data science. And you won't believe, we were the online students, and somehow for the first time, it can never happen.
Yeah.
We wrote our final examination for Bachelors of Science on a Sunday. See you.
Yeah.
Sunday evening, we are writing, our final term paper for BSc honors in economics. Unlike many other departments at CU undergraduate level, and it was such fated that the classes at Symbiosis started from the next day, the
Yeah.
Monday. That
Yeah.
So I didn't have a gap between my BSc and MSc.
Yeah.
We had a bridge course for a week or two at Symbiosis, and full on the master's classes started. And it was good. 2021 was online education. No one was going to college.
Yeah.
No one was in Pune. They were in different parts of the country studying. And finally, from 2022 Jan, Feb, that the relaxations were made, people slowly started getting back to campus, though we were given a choice. If you want to come to campus or you don't want to, because it was still a very vulnerable time. Many
Yeah.
people were suffering with the repercussions of COVID, or
Yeah.
maybe were not, immune enough. They didn't feel that they can come out of their places. And it was like shifting cities and a lot. So I was continuing with online classes from Kolkata, and I got this opportunity of an internship at the Public Affairs Center in Bangalore.
Yeah.
So the public affairs index that we use, it
Yeah.
is a child of PAC Bangalore, and the chairman was working on his book project dealing with the urbanization of India, the state of Indian cities. And it was supposed to draw the narrative from the, medieval times, the ancient times rather, till the day, what India and its urbanization looks like.
Yeah.
I was interested with the project. It was supposed to be an on-site engagement, and I felt that okay, I'm doing online classes, so why not take this chance? And that began my, journey with research.
Ah.
So I worked with the chairman, who was also, who is like one of the former chief secretaries for the state of Karnataka, and
Yeah.
has been, like one of the architects of building the whole electronic city, or what Bangalore has become since the early 2000s.
Yeah.
Dr. A. Ravindra.
Yeah.
And I worked under him, and I also had a research consultant from Jain University, Bangalore.
Yeah.
And we were working for Dr. Ravindra's book project. It was extremely insightful. It really taught me what is research, how things are done. Because being a master student, we were already getting, acquainted with research methodologies, writing papers, making presentations. But to work on an actual topic and to know the whole weight of a real subject, that is very interesting. It gives a, flavor to anyone who hasn't had that opportunity or exposure to understand and explore what research is all about.
Mm-hmm.
I worked under him. It was for 5 months, starting from Feb. So even before I went to Pune, I had flown to Bangalore for this one. And after this project ended, that we had a summer break. So we have a mandatory summer internship program at Symbiosis School of Economics.
Yeah.
Where students engage, like we have to write a report and
Yeah.
a presentation on the internship. So it's an 8 week or 2 months internship that we have to do mandatorily. I was applying to places. I got shortlisted at Center for Civil Society, CCS. I also, were applying to other universities. I applied to Jain University itself to work under a professor. And I also had applied to Center for Public Policy Research, CPPR, in Kochi,
Yeah.
Kerala.
Yeah.
So, you know, even though at CCS they didn't, select me for that particular internship I had applied to, they wanted me to do something on education, another of their projects, and I wasn't really interested to, do that. I got a call from CPPR based on my work and my background, whatever I have done until then. And I was a totally new person, just, knowing what is research, how to go into it. So I got a call. I was offered the summer internship there. I also worked with the chairman at CPPR and under the urban studies research group there. And it was though based to be a case study on Kochi and Kerala municipalities. Our larger topic was to, find how we can enable alternative funding for municipal finance. So
Yeah.
as we know, in India, we have three lists: the
Yeah.
state, concurrent, and the central. But we don't really have one that has the local bodies having all their, areas mentioned. And the whole, domain of municipal finance comes under the state.
Yes.
Somehow they don't have a very, big budget that they can boast of and say that we're self-sufficient. And so the trick lies to find out innovative and alternative ways of, funding the municipal or the local public finance. The project was about it. It was fun. I had to study a lot more than before to actually even find out how we can go about things. And my research internship report was based on that. I like it was supposed to be a long term project, and they were working on the initial stages. So I basically studied the whole scenario in Kochi and Kerala, and not on the whole national aspect.
No.
I mean, this
Yeah.
is such a huge project, and to study municipal finance, you just don't need economics, you need accounts people, finance people, public policy people, and more about the bureaucrats who know how it goes in the administrative setup, how
Yeah.
things work.
Yeah.
So I had this idea, and I finally, in my final semester at Symbiosis School of Economics, I made that to be my thesis or dissertation report. It was an exploratory study based on the Kolkata Municipal Corporation and their, municipal finance, how it has changed over the years, what they're looking forward to, and what we can learn. I mean, Kolkata Municipal Corporation can learn from the other, richer municipal corporations like Mumbai and Delhi. Even if Delhi has now four parts, I mean, the South Delhi Corporation is the richest among all the four,
Yes.
and the Brihan Mumbai Municipal Corporation, that is like the richest municipal
Yes.
corporation.
Yes.
And they have a lot of innovative ways of taxing. We also, at college, we had this opportunity to, come in touch with Dr. Ravikant Joshi.
Yeah.
So he's a very celebrated public finance and management consultant. He has worked with World Bank. He was he was working with CRISIL in the urban development department, and he just knows public finance like anything. He has been the chief accountant at Vadodara Municipal Corporation for
Mm-hmm.
more than 3 decades, and to get to learn about this field from him was like a time opportunity. So he was my dissertation mentor, and I also had another professor from Symbiosis to help me with the dissertation. And that is how I kind of made my little contribution to
Mm-hmm.
carry forward the question that CPPR in my
Yeah.
summer internship had
Yeah.
seeded on me.
Okay.
But it's like a lot to do even
Yeah.
now.
Yeah.
Looking at the state of cities, and I was in Kolkata doing the field work where I got to talk with the department heads of Kolkata. So we have the you know controller of municipal finance and accounts. That is what the KMC, the Kolkata Municipal Corporation Finance Department, is like called. And KMC is like, you walk into KMC, you feel like you've entered Kolkata of the British period, with the same building, everything is wooden, and like there are files, and there are like big almiras and cabinets not open for years, but there's kind of scenic aesthetics in that, and I really every day I would capture the whole place, and it was an amazing experience, and the people talking. So I was really happy to know that even though the municipal corporations and the municipalities, the cantonment boards, all these bodies, the local governments are not so much like financially stable. They do have organizations like ADB, helping them. So, like the Asian Development Bank has been working with Kolkata since long time now, over
Yeah.
a decade.
Yeah.
Like it's a long time, and like these people at KMC, they were telling how they do try their best to, even if not get the allocations they need to run the operations and give and deliver the services perfectly, they do get help from a lot of sources.
Okay.
And I kind of liked it that irrespective of it being just a municipal corporation or a local self-government body in a city in India, we do have others like coming to help us. My dissertation was about that. I was happy with research, and I was also parallelly associated with other research assistantships. So we have in Symbiosis, Symbiosis Center for International Education.
Yeah.
Basically, it's the whole center that works with the Symbiosis universities engagements with the foreign universities. And I was working as an RA there. They have a center within that School of European Studies, and I worked on few education related policy and policy related topics there. I also got to publish one of their articles, co-authored with like the head of the department there.
Yeah.
And that's how my research work was going on. I was also given this opportunity by the director, Dr. Jyoti Chandiramani at Symbiosis School of Economics, to work closely for the G20 standing.
Yeah. Yeah.
So Symbiosis is one of the 76 Indian universities who have been like designated to be part of the University Connect, like what do I say, cohort
Yeah.
of the universities and Indian institutions to actively contribute and closely know what this G20 presidency is all about. And Jyoti ma'am was one of the board members. She got elected. It was a big thing for the whole of Symbiosis. Jyoti ma'am is also the dean and of the School of Humanities and Social Sciences at Symbiosis International University. Besides being our director at SSC, and she being one of the board members of University Connect for the G20, it meant a lot.
Yeah.
And we had this like little team we were working with how to uh, contribute to this presidency from Symbiosis and showcase what in what ways we may get our image presented and express how we may participate in this presidency. And as part of that, I got to attend G20 meetings, summits. I was part of the Pune summit that Symbiosis International University had hosted. It was called the Y20 or the Youth 20 that we have, the Pune summit. Following that, we also had a week later one where Symbiosis School of Economics had organized it. It was related to education, and we worked closely with the team. We had RIS Delhi also collaborating with us for that. And the final one, the day I was about to leave Pune and move to Ahmedabad, so I had got that great opportunity to work at IIM Ahmedabad for an urban mobility related advisory project under Prof. Sandeep Chakraborty. And it was 19th of June that I had to join on, and I got a call from the Symbiosis Center for International Education that they're gonna host this series of lectures called the Kapuscinski Development Lectures.
Yeah.
And it was to be organized with support from the, what do I say? Just to hold a minute. Sorry. Is it okay if you pause?
Yeah.
So you would have to again.
There was a recording glitch and we are now back. So let's hear from her. Please go ahead.
Yeah. So the day I was about to leave Pune and move to IIM Ahmedabad for starting my first job after college, after MSc, I got this call from the Symbiosis Center for International Education that we gonna host the Kapuscinski Development Lectures, the first KDL in India. And because it was the G20 year going on, they were too excited to have a collaboration with UNDP, and I didn't want to miss the chance. So I was a part of this organizational committee there, and we hosted the KDL lecture at the Symbiosis lovely, the Hilltop campus. I mean, the whole if you've been.
No.
So that's the
Here we go.
Yeah, so it was supposed to be hosted in the Hilltop. We were having a 3-day, series of G20 events in late June, and the whole city of Pune. I mean, for this whole year, the G20 year 2000 started last year November. The whole city has got a makeover. So everywhere you would find G20 and Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, which is also the motto of Symbiosis International University for years. And coincidentally, that's also what the G20 has taken up. And so this was an amazing experience. We had Dr. Cairo, who's a gender and education activist based in the Netherlands, and she gave us a talk there at the KDL lectures, and it was really great. And coming back, I mean, that was my last day in Pune. I was to move to Ahmedabad on 20th June and start my career at IIMA. So for all of us, the average Indians, because IIMA as a class and it's
Yeah.
not for everyone,
Yeah. Yeah.
we have always picturized IIM Ahmedabad, to be so romantic and
Yeah.
filmy, given the two states film. I mean, you see people dancing around, and there's such a lot of like hype around this whole institution. I mean, it was founded by Vikram Sarabhai, and it is like even difficult than Harvard and
Yes.
Yale to get in. This is
Yes.
like it's easier to get into those business schools in Yale, Harvard, Wharton than to get into IIMA.
Yeah.
It's so competitive, and to get a chance to have an email ID with the domain of IIMA.ac.in and to work there, it was a great experience. So
Yeah.
more than like the sooner I could even start my work, it didn't sink in me that, okay, I'm gonna work from this campus. I would have a desk of my own, really going to the library and the whole campus as we've seen in the vlogs and in the film, that I'll be actually going there.
Yeah.
It was like, it was something that I still can't, really agree that I have been there. I have actually worked there. It was going good. And as it is said, research is a daunting task. So I recently made a few LinkedIn posts about my new job that I joined recently. And research really, pushes you to the limits.
Yeah.
So this was a great project. We were basically trying to understand how, the problem of traffic congestion can be, solved. What can be the policy sides, and also the business incentives that we may attract companies to take part in this solution. I come from an urban development specialization from my MSc Economics, and we have studied urban mobility and transportation. It was like taught to us by the director, ma'am herself. And at IIMA, this was the project I joined. So basically, we were to find out, advanced road pricing uh, strategies like congestion pricing.
Yeah.
To tackle this growing congestion and traffic problem in India, how we may do that. Because congestion pricing is still a fairly new concept, though it's there in the Western countries, in America, and few places in Europe. We don't have so much in India. This was a very novel, first of a kind research. It was really intriguing. We were working with a client, Madrid-based client. I don't want to name the like company because of few issues, but it gave me a lot of exposure, and it was hectic. I generally, I'm a healthy person. I don't fall sick often, but ever since I'd moved to Ahmedabad and we were having cyclonic weather in June, July, like the whole Gujarat was, getting washed, and there were a lot of like flooding, especially like not to disregard, but Ahmedabad has really, really bad urban drainage systems.
Yeah.
The urban floods are really massive. So it would rain for like half an hour and the water would stand for like 3 hours. It's
Yeah.
that bad. So this whole change of weather from Pune, which is fairly a very like cozy and very nice, convenient weather, to Ahmedabad, which was raining, I started falling sick. And this project, obviously, we're doing a very serious work. It needed us to work a lot. And there's such a lot of brainstorming, this, that. So we were working with CMI data, time use survey data. We would, sit in the Bloomberg portals that have minimum two monitors
Yeah.
at library itself, Vikram Sarabhai library itself, and work for hours because the data would be above like 9, 12 million observations. And the normal desktops, the ones we were provided, they were
Yeah.
new, but even they couldn't tackle. We would run it on Stata and it would still take few seconds, 30, 40 seconds to load that data. And it was like very, very exhausting. I was working and I started falling sick. I had health issues. And, when you're sick, you don't get to give your best,
Mm-hmm.
how whatsoever you may try. I also I had started my IIT Madras, program again. So the whole of 2022, ever since I moved to Pune, let me correct myself. I moved to Bangalore. I didn't get much time to, study as part of, because I had my internships, I had the masters I was doing, and it was not possible to accommodate the other degree also. So the whole 2022, thankfully that we had given the multiple exit and entry and pause options, I had, kept my reservation alive, but I didn't take up courses. So it's like from June this year again, like after I completed my master's, I started, going back to the course again. And all of this together in Ahmedabad with my health, the research, and IIT studies, I was like, I can't tackle.
Yeah.
And my health, that was a big issue. Also, it was for the first time that I was actually growing up, I was adulting, I was sharing my room with someone. And I never shared my room with someone. I come from a, nuclear family, single child. I don't really know that how space sharing is. And even in Kochi, Bangalore, Pune, I was living in a separate room.
Yeah.
Now that I
Yeah.
have a partner, I was like, okay, so there has to be a lot of adjustments. She was like, she's in the second year of her undergrad.
Yeah.
She's still like fresh into college, out of school, and it's difficult to make someone who is a student understand when you're working what time restraints you have. You
Yeah.
can late, you can be late to college,
Yeah.
maximum you would get some comment, some harsh or rude comment from the teacher, okay. But when you're working and you have to be at office and there's to they don't understand like how that like whole thing works, the importance of punctuality. So I would get late, and all these issues together affected my work. I started, not performing so well in my research. There were delays in deliveries. The prof, obviously, he had, taken us under him. He had expectations. We had deadlines because we had a real client, a foreign client sitting in Spain, and there were no loopholes.
No.
When we're working in open grant, open funding projects, it's more like exploratory, and especially working with Indian clients, governments, ministries, or any company, it's still okay. But because it's a foreign company and it's the name of IIM Ahmedabad, we had to be really serious. And I started getting, delayed in submitting my work. And it affected our project schedule also. We had to go to Mumbai, we had to do a lot of surveys and everything else in between. So everything started getting delayed. And myself was not happy with the kind of work I've been doing. So it comes from a fact that ever since my school days or college days, I haven't been a topper. I've been an average student, a student whose marks are average, but I can go speaking, or if someone asks me something, I can answer. I come to that category of students. So I was like taken aback and I started self doubting myself. I was not happy because I'm trying. There were days I stayed up at VSL, the library. So IIM library, it's like it's a heaven for book lovers or
Yeah.
anyone who wants to do serious work.
Yeah.
And it's never sleeping. So even at 1 a.m., you would find people, playing in the grounds, and people studying or working in the hotels or in the library. And everyone is so serious in IIM.
Yeah.
Like you literally feel like, okay, you can get underconfident or you can get that, nervousness that people are so serious. Everyone is working and no one
Yeah.
is like a college goer.
Yeah.
Everyone is very much like, head straight what they want to do, how they want to do. No one wasting time. So I had even stayed up for few nights in VSL working the whole night. I was working, I was like doing overtime and I was not happy with my work. And this happened over few weeks.
Hmm.
And finally I was like, I need a break. I'm suffering. I have to pause my initial plans.
Yeah.
I still even want to do a PhD someday, but I didn't want to jump it this year because I feel like getting that exposure of what research is outside your university is important before you start your PhD. PhD is a long time commitment, and it's okay to study and directly translate to that journey, but to have some experience where you can show makes a big difference in your SOPs and applications altogether. This was the whole idea. I joined this appointment, and then I was not happy. I was suffering. So I was like, too much. Let me just get a break. I didn't get a break after my BSc because it was a Sunday. I wrote my final exams, and Monday that master's classes started. And now that I am still flying to another city, I didn't go to Kolkata after my master's ended yet. I plan to go during Pujo though. Let's see. And it was too much for me. And I was like, I need to take a break. So I resigned. I was to take a break. I moved back, and you know, I don't know how fate plays. So in the back of my mind, when we were in our like final sem, everyone was job hunting. I was a part of the placement cell. Lot of responsibility to get good placements and facilitate people going transitioning to work. Um, I, like everybody else, we were also applying off campus because
Yeah.
none of us wanted to, stick to it that, okay, the P cell will give us an offer. That doesn't work because placements are very like luck driven exercise. It doesn't happen that way. And I was applying. I had applied before June in this company called Cantor. It is the world's second largest market research conglomerate after
Okay.
Nielsen IQ, Kantar.
Yeah.
And I just simply slipped my resume, seeing a post on LinkedIn by one
Yeah.
HR. But they
Yeah.
were looking forward for, research assistants and research managers who would be working with the consumer insights team. Now, what we learn as consumer behavior or micro in economics, to know how it really works in the industry, we have to get that industry exposure.
Okay.
Consumer behavior is cool, but to know how it is actually, how the whole market allocation happens, where is the profit
Okay.
maximization, the revenues, everything, the budget. So I was like, this is something I want to pursue, market research, and I had applied. And
Amrita,
then,
sorry to
yeah,
interrupt, but we
yeah,
are running out of 1 hour.
okay,
Okay, because
okay,
I just got a pop-up saying the next student is waiting. So
okay,
can you please close in a minute or two so that we can get to
okay,
the next one?
okay. So like, what do you want me to talk about?
So
Anything
I
in
just want you to conclude the way that you want to conclude because I have only 2 more minutes for you.
okay. So this was out of my mind. I had started my career at IIMA and I had taken a break, and after months, like after 2 months almost, I got a call from this company that they wanted to interview me. And in a matter of few weeks, my whole trajectory again changed. From going to PhD, I entered corporate. I came to Gurgaon. It's my fifth city. you know.
Yeah.
And I have recently joined Kantar in their consumer insights team as part of the Insights by Kantar group. And I hope to see where, my life takes me next. So that's all about me.
Well, that's a wonderful story of so much changes, so many
So much
opportunities,
changes.
so many things you have seen, South India, West India, East
Yeah,
India, North India. So you are truly an Indian now. And
yeah.
I'm sure
Great
you will
question.
go on to do many things. We'll catch up
Let's
with you, I think, in 1 year to see where you are. Right now,
definitely.
I don't have a limit as such, but there's another one waiting.
Yeah, yeah,
It now says
yeah.
3 minutes, so I have to end it here. And thank
Thank
you
you.
so much for sharing with such honesty all your thoughts and your successes, I must say. And it's well done.
And failures
Okay,
and
all right.
self-realizations.
Okay, so let's say bye to everyone. I'm just waiting for the next person to come. Bye
All
bye,
right.
everybody. We'll be back with another person. And thank you, Amrita. This time I get your name right. Bye bye,
Right.
Amrita. All right, catch up with
Thank
you
you.
later. Okay. All
All
right. Bye
right.
bye. Yeah, bye.
Bye, sir.